Jaya Radha Kalatanji Radha Kalatanji Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hariba, 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 Nitai Gaura Hariba. Nitai Gaura Hariba, 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 Nitai Gaura Hariba. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Chila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvakacharya Atutara Satashi Shimad. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvakacharya Atutara Satashi Shimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Jai Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Brihat Mridanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai, Go Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. Good morning, dear devotees. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class. My name is Nanda Brajadas. Jai Shri Shri Radha. Today we're reading from Canto 5, Chapter 12. We'll read verses 11 through 16. We're going to be focusing on verse 12. And the topic today is the necessity of service to devotees. Jai. What an appropriate topic today, huh? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Go Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhan Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Namah Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalashanji Ki Jai Shri the Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And if we can recite the Sanskrit and English translations of the invocation together, please. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatams, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer the respectful obeisances to the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of fortune, and to Sri Vyasadeva, the ostler. Nasta Praya Shavabreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki, by regular attendance on the classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome within the heart is completely destroyed, in loving service to the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyantamarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Okay, we're at Canto 5, chapter 12. We'll do 11 through 16. And so Rahugana has asked Judd Bart, he says, you know what? Can you explain this again one more time? And then Judd Bart has decided to even go even stronger. I mean, that the last couple chapters were already strong, but can you believe this? He's even going to go punch harder so that the king will even understand better or can understand. Okay, let's read. I was, before we start here, the topic is the necessity of service to the devotees. And I thought this was so perfectly arranged by Krishna. Yesterday, we had this big festival, Radhastami, that was just so special, so amazing. And the glories of Radha were being told about how special she is, how that even Krishna is bowing down to her because of her devotional service. And then the next day, we get to talk about the pure devotee. Wow. I mean, amazing, huh? So let's start with text 11.
What then is the ultimate truth? The answer that is not dual knowledge is the ultimate truth. It is devoid of the contamination of material qualities. It gives us liberation. It is the one without a second, all-pervading, and beyond imagination. The first realization of that knowledge is Brahman, the Paramatma. The super-soul is realized by the yogis who try to see him without grievance. This is the second stage of realization. Finally, full realization of the same supreme knowledge is realized in the Supreme Person. All learned scholars describe the Supreme Person as Vasudeva, the cause of Brahman, Paramatma, and others.
There's a question here. What then is the ultimate truth? What does he explain the ultimate truth is? Yeah. Then he also explains later what are the three things of the ultimate truth that he's explaining. Somebody else who was listening. What was it? There we go. And Bhagavan. And others. Okay, text 12, please. This will be our focus verse. Thank you, Drista. So please, 12.
My dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of householder life, leaving home as a vanaprastha, accepting sannyas, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water, or surrounding oneself in summer by fire in the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee.
Dustin, what do we smear on us to get the realization of the absolute truth? What do we smear on ourselves? Right in the verse. Dag will help you. Dag, what's the question? The answer? The dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. Okay. Text 3. Be ready.
That's humility.
I'm shooting here.
Who are the pure devotees mentioned here? In an assembly of pure devotees, there is no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is discussion only of the qualities, forms, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into the existence of the absolute truth abandons this idea, and it gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva.
What aren't the pure devotees talking about?
Politics.
Politics. Thank you, Dustin. Politics and what else?
Sociology.
Sociology. Nope, they're busy talking about Krishna, right? And the full attention, worshipped with full attention.
It's pretty relevant today.
Sociology, from what I understand, and please correct me if I'm wrong, sociology is like, the community, like culture, what's going on with around the community, how things, society, there we go. What's going on with society, you know. Verse 14, please.
In a previous birth, I was known as Maharaj Bharat. I attained perfection by being completely detached from material activities through direct experience. And through indirect experience, I received understanding from the Vedas. I was fully engaged in the service of the Lord, but due to my misfortune, I became very attached, very affectionate to a small deer, so much so that I neglected my spiritual duties. Due to my deep affection for the deer, in my next life, I had to accept the body of a deer.
So these 3 verses, there's really some explanation of what the topic is today. See if you can catch it. When after we're done with 16, I'll ask, who caught what the significance of these 3 verses are in relation to our topic. Text 15.
My dear heroic king, due to my past sincere service to the Lord, I could remember everything of my past life, even while in the body of a deer. Because I am aware of the fall down in my past life, I always keep myself separate from the association of ordinary men. Being afraid of their bad materialistic association, I wander alone, unnoticed by others.
Simply by associating with exalted devotees, anyone can attain perfection of knowledge, and with the sword of knowledge can cut to pieces the illusionary associations within this material world. Through the association of devotees, one can engage in the service of the Lord by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam. Thus one can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness, and sticking to cultivation of Krishna consciousness, return home back to Godhead even in this life.
So what is Judd Bart saying here in these 3 verses? What is he getting at? He's saying he's learning from his situation, and what is he really driving to the point of? Yeah, right? Right. Exactly, Ajit. Ajit was saying that he didn't have sadhu sangha, that he was in the forest alone, and he was just sitting there meditating, and this deer came across, and he had no one to help bring him back, to explain to him, hey, I think you're overly attached to this deer, or just to chant Hare Krishna with, so that we can remember, what is our ultimate goal in life. Yeah, he's really saying, I learned from my lesson. We need association, and matter of fact, the right association. He doesn't associate with ordinary men. Okay, let's go to text 12, please. Chapter 12, actually. Chapter 5, 12, 12. 5, 12, 12. I was really confused. It's like, did I just do a whole lesson we've already done? Rahu and Rahu. I had the Raghunath Ganata Tapasa Nayati. Rahu Ganatita Tapasya Nayati. Nache Jaya Nirvapanad Grihadva. Nache Jaya Nirvapanad Grihadva. Nachandasya Naiva Jalagni Suryer. Na chandasya navya jalagni suryarhir. Vina mata pada rajo bisyakam. Bishe. Vina mat pada rajo bisyakam. Bolo, please. Rahu ganata tapasana yati. Nichai janirva panad grahadva. Chandasya na vijalagni suryir. Maina mahatpada vajo bishekam. Rago ginata tapasana yati. Nirva panad grihadva. Na chandasya na vijalagni suryir. Vaina mahatpada rajo bisikam. Rahu ganata tapasana yati. Na che jaya nirva panad grihadva. Na chandasya na vijalagni suryir. Vina mahatpada rajo bisekam. Ragu ganata tapasana yati. Na che jaya papanad grihadva. Na chandasya na vijalagni suryir. Vina mahatpada rajo bisekam. Okay, we're going to skip word for word. Just a little heads up, we started about 10 minutes late here, and I've only got 10 minutes here, so we'll go about 10 minutes over time, just to give a... Whoa, Dustin. Oh my God. Prabhu, your desire for prasadam is very worthy. Thank you. I pay my obeisances to you and your desire for prasadam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of the great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of household life, leaving home as a vanaprastha, accepting sannyas, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping once submerged in water, or surrounding oneself in summer by fire and the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. Purport. Actual knowledge of transcendental bliss can be bestowed upon anyone by a pure devotee. Vedashu durlabam adurlambam atma bhakto. One cannot attain the perfection of spiritual life simply by following the directions of the Vedas. One has to approach a pure devotee. Anya bilasita sunyam jana karmadi anavratam. By the grace of such a devotee, one can understand the absolute truth, Krishna, and one's relationship with him. A materialistic person sometimes thinks that simply by executing pious activities and remaining at home, one can understand the absolute truth. That is denied in this verse, nor can one understand the absolute truth simply by observing the rules and regulations of brahmachari celibacy. One only has to serve the pure devotee. That will help one understand the absolute truth without fail. So, I thought I'd start with a question here. The question is you all have association. We all have association with a pure devotee. And I'm wondering, I'm curious, what is that service that you connect with in service of the pure devotee? What in your life, what service do you find that, oh, this connects me with my spiritual master or with Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotees in our life? Chanting japa? You really connect with chanting japa as your service to the pure devotee. Very nice. Anybody else? Yes, Mataji. Supporting book distribution. Wow. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada so desired book distribution. So if we support it in some way, yes, Jackson. Mm. Mm. Wow. So seeing Krishna in everyone, in everybody's heart. Prabhupada Priya. Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Passing on what the pure devotees and acharyas have given us by teaching the books that they've written.
Jit. And then Drissa?
Hearing submissively from the spiritual master and following his instructions.
Yeah. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, right? Let's hear from the pure devotee. Submissively inquire and then render pure devotion or render service to this person. Drista.
Yeah, same thing as a Jit, kind of following the instructions, like going to morning program, worships Rupa Goswami, and fasting and following things in the nectar of devotion. So,
my spiritual master, one thing he asks when we're initiated is to attend full morning program. It's very important to him. And this is the diversity of the pure devotees that we have in our movement, and that are all coming from our teachings of our spiritual master, our prominent Shiksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada. And these all are in line with Srila Prabhupada, but we have a personal relationship in how we are connecting with the pure devotee and how we're serving. So you'll see that there's many different answers for people. I was thinking about Srila Prabhupada himself and in this connection with how he served his spiritual master, how he was serving the pure devotee. And it's quite amazing how Srila Prabhupada, what he went through for service of the pure devotees, to his guru. I mean, first of all, Srila Prabhupada, he left the goal of our life as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, right? This Vrindavan is the place to be, right? Matter of fact, we have a bunch of devotees are traveling there in November. But Srila Prabhupada was there. It was his life. It was there. All he had to do was chant Hare Krishna and appreciate the pastimes of the Lord very nicely, right? But Srila Prabhupada decided that his comfort, his service to Krishna and the Holy Dham wasn't enough. That there needed to be more. Because his guru asked him to go to the Western world and preach this Krishna consciousness movement. And so Srila Prabhupada did. He left Vrindavan. Matter of fact, when he was traveling around, he would ask the devotees, how far are we from Vrindavan? And so from Dallas, do you know how far we are from Vrindavan? How many miles? Quite a few, right? But Srila Prabhupada wanted to know, how many miles are we away? He'd be in Atlanta or this place or that place in the UK. And how far are we from Vrindavan? Because he was always thinking of his Vrindavan. And he left that place to come and spread Krishna consciousness. he sailed across the ocean for 2 months. I mean, I flew to India last year, and there's one part where the flight is like 16 hours. And I was just about going nuts. About the 13th, 14th hour, I was just like, I couldn't sleep. I was next to two big guys, and you're just in the air. You don't have the freedom to see, the green grass, the trees. It's just like, you're stuck in this aluminum hot dog, And Srila Prabhupada was also stuck in this aluminum ship, for 2 months. Up and down the water. Had 2 heart attacks just so that he could serve the mission of his guru. Then he comes to New York, and he has no money. We've heard this story. I was wondering if I have one story I want to share that of Srila Prabhupada in New York, but I thought before I could do that, I could ask you guys, what do you know of Srila Prabhupada's sacrifice to spread this Krishna consciousness movement? His sacrifice, his service to his guru. What things pop in your guys' heads? Yes, Mataji. Can we take the microphone there? Right back here.
Hare Krishna. One of the first things that Srila Prabhupada had to do when he got to New York with no money and nobody to talk to, nobody knew him, he didn't know anybody except, of course, Lord Krishna was directing him and guiding him, but first thing he had to do was find shelter. So the part of New York where he was is called the Bowery. And at that time, I think it still is today like this, but it was just like slum city, people like wasted on drugs, heroin, alcoholics. Prabhupada would have to step over the drunks to get up the stairs to his little apartment. And he didn't mind. He left Vrindavan. He was at Radha Damodar temple. And he just didn't mind. Whatever Krishna gave him, he just was so happy to be there and being very kind and gentle to the people around him. And they all loved him. The drunk people used to go get him a roll of toilet paper and bring him toilet paper or whatever they could.
Yes.
And so...
Yeah, it said when Srila Prabhupada got off the ship, he didn't know to turn left. He said, I didn't know to turn left or right. Have you ever moved from a place, and when we're moving to a better place, there's excitement. But have you ever had to move to a place that is either like kind of even or like you got to go to some place like worse in a sense? Has anybody experienced that? Moving to a place that's either like just about the same or like, kind of like you're giving up something when you move. For instance, I used to live right across the street and I had to move like about 3/4 of the mile down the road, and it was like death. Like, like, oh my God, it stunk. It's like you have to learn so many different things. It's bewildering to be to change, where you're living. Any other thoughts about Srila Prabhupada's service to his guru and what he took on to spread this Krishna consciousness movement? I'll tell a story of when I was in New York. What's the Sankirtan leader at Bhakti Center? Ram Roy Prabhu. So we were doing... Oh, thank you, the Radha Govinda temple, right? So Ram Roy Prabhu, we were doing Sankirtan, and he said, hey, would anybody be interested in a tour of where Srila Prabhupada had stayed? We're very excited. And it's in December. It's pretty cold, 35, 34 degrees. And so he takes us first to Thompson Square, shows us where Srila Prabhupada was chanting and stuff. And then he took us down the road. And first stop was Srila Prabhupada's apartment. But it was Srila Prabhupada's second apartment in New York there. Because his first apartment was with Dr. Mishra. And Dr. Mishra was hosting Srila Prabhupada. And what happened was Srila Prabhupada started to preach Krishna consciousness, and he was attracting Dr. Mishra's followers. They were becoming very attracted to Srila Prabhupada. And Dr. Mishra got jealous, and he decided that he couldn't have this anymore. So he asked Srila Prabhupada to move. And he put him into a room that literally had no kitchen, no bathroom. It was just 4 walls and a bed. Okay, that's pretty tough, right? To live in a place with no bathroom. No. Well, we walked from this apartment to where Dr. Mishra's apartment was. And so Srila Prabhupada would have to do this walk just to use the restroom, just to take a shower, just to cook anything, right? So we took the walk, and it was about 10, 15 minutes to go from one, 10, 15 minutes. Not too bad. I mean, a little inconvenient if you just have to go to the bathroom just to walk 10, 15 minutes down the road. However, we were there in December, and it was about 34 degrees, and I remember I was in nice shoes and a coat and a chutter and stuff, and man, I was cold. I mean, I could feel the bite, And so Ram Roy Prabhu explained that this walk that Srila Prabhupada would have to do was in the coldest winter recorded in New York for a long, long, long time. It was snowing so much that there was feet of snow. And so Srila Prabhupada, just to go use the restroom, didn't just have to walk 10, 15 minutes. He had to walk 10, 15 minutes in snow. And if you saw Srila Prabhupada's shoes that he had to walk in, it wasn't your average Nikes. They were Indian shoes that were just a little wrap, And so Srila Prabhupada wrote, or told the devotees he actually wrote, he was having hunger pains. At night, he was having such a struggle of hunger pains because he didn't want to make the walk to go cook. I mean, it was just so cold there when we were there. I couldn't imagine having to walk through snow just to go for 10, 15 minutes. By the way, he's 70 years old. I was 44. I am 44. It was last year. And I was like, this is tough. So this is Srila Prabhupada and the pure devotee serving the pure devotee, serving his guru. He, as Mataji said, it wasn't even a care to Srila Prabhupada, most of these things, because he was so focused on serving his guru that nothing could stop him. No snow, no threats by crazy, drugged out people. Srila Prabhupada was just so determined. So I would like to suggest that we also take this inspiration of Srila Prabhupada to spread this Krishna consciousness movement by understanding that everybody's a pure soul. We're all covered in some way or shape or form, right? But we're all pure devotees. Everyone's a pure devotee. And so not only we get the opportunity to serve the pure devotee Srila Prabhupada, he's asking us to serve by spreading this Krishna consciousness movement, by telling people about Krishna, by sharing his books. And we can go through a little bit of difficulties, nothing compared to what Srila Prabhupada, and please Srila Prabhupada. I mean, what a benediction we have. We have nice rooms, we have nice cars, we have nice clothes, we have such a comfortable position here. And to please Srila Prabhupada, we just have to get a little bit uncomfortable and walk outside and try to tell somebody about Krishna in some way, shape, or form. So, any questions, comments, thoughts on serving the pure devotee? And yes, Ajit Prabhu.
I got the number of miles
Oh, wow.
between Dallas and Vrindavan. It's 8,245.
Yes, 8,200 and what?
45.
45. Mm.
I'm Canadian, so I don't really know what that means. Just a kilometer, but it sounds like a lot.
It's a lot of miles. Any other comments, questions, thoughts? Was that a little heavy? Okay. Just making sure I didn't. What's your thoughts, Dag?
Well, one, it wasn't heavy at
Mm.
all. Thought that was a really nice class. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was kind of going back to a previous verse. The only thing I had really written down is like steering the conversation, like when you're hanging out with devotees and then things become about social or just balancing, you know? You don't want to be like the Krishna conscious, like enforcer Nazi, you know? It's like, oh, you know? And just like wanted to see if you could speak to maybe how to bring things back in a graceful way, or if sometimes we just gotta let it be, you know? Just be like, just to blend in a little bit, you know?
One of the best ways to shift something is to show respect to that person and ask their advice. People love it when you ask them for advice, right? It's natural. Hey, what do you think, Prabhu? How does that make you feel? So we can ask these questions, like open-ended questions, because it's not, it's showing this respect and appreciation of the person, and not forceful. So, and we got to be a little artful in the way we do it. If in the sense of like, how does the question pertain to the situation? What do you think Srila Prabhupada would think about eco-friendly, environmentalists? We're talking about environment. So, what do you think Srila Prabhupada would think about that? In some way, shape, or form, we show the respect and the appreciation of the other people. Matter of fact, this is in how we can chant 24/7, right? Is we show willingness to show complete respect for people. So we don't want to do it in a way that is disrespectful. We can show respect by asking them, hey, what do you think about this? How can we, how can we connect that with Krishna? Prabhu, that's one thing that my spiritual master said. He said, always start with Prabhu in sincerity. Prabhu, and ask the question. And he said that then they'll show you their character. If they show nice character by being also friendly and, well, not necessarily friendly, but being, showing respect and acting in a Vaishnav character is very nice. But if they can't act in that way, then we actually kind of start to separate ourselves a little bit in the, those kinds of situations. I know that this person has a tendency to speak like this, and if I show respect in trying to shift it, and they get disturbed or take offense, then I need to make sure that I pull myself away from that because it's not good for me. So really, yeah. Any other thoughts about that? Just the Dumna. Prabhu.
It wasn't exactly on Deg's point.
Okay, well, let's just check to see if anybody has anything to say on that point, and if not, then we can go to the next thing. Okay, next thing.
Yeah, I just
Is that okay, Dave? Okay.
Thank
you, Trista.
I appreciate how the Bhagavatam, it always is telling us about association with devotees, and we really can't hear it enough. Sometimes we see that, at least for myself and for others, even in subtle ways, we feel by our austerities we can become Krishna conscious, by our observing celibacy, by our regulations of household life, by our vanapras, by our sannyas. Sometimes we can think we don't need the devotees. And sometimes we think, oh, we don't need ISKCON, we don't need the temples, we don't need Sangha. Oh, I have my beads, But the Bhagavatam, like, this is Krishna himself telling us what he appreciates. He says, I'm not in the heart of the yogi, I'm not in Vaikuntha. I'm in the Vaishnava Sangha where they are discussing my glories. So I just appreciate how it's always telling us over and over again, you need devotees, you need devotees, you need devotees. Yeah, maybe if you have any thoughts on that.
My thought comes in that it comes personal that I have so many shortcomings in so many ways, and it doesn't matter to Krishna. Like, I can be so, I make so many mistakes, and I can't do this, I can't do that, but Krishna doesn't care. Like, he just cares that I'm doing it with a heart of love. And so we do the things, the sadhana bhakti, you know what I mean? We get up in the morning, quite a bit of us, and we, like Keshava Swami was saying, a lot of times what makes somebody very focused in their Krishna consciousness is not by what they do a lot of, it's what they do a little of every day, consistently, So yeah, it really says that, it says to me, it's we should really appreciate one another. We should look deeper. We should try to see that the devotees are serving, Sometimes we get a little content. Sometimes we get a lot of content. And we start to see people's anarthas and these things, and those start to become prominent in our inner vision. But every devotee here is given up a lot. You know what I mean? Said everybody's out there in the material world trying to get this, And we said, you know what, forget it. Let me try this path. Let me try to become Krishna consciousness. And that's a shift, Maharaj was saying yesterday that when you become Krishna conscious and you start practicing, you change so much so quickly, you know what I mean? We've decided, the devotees around here have decided to take that on. So we can appreciate the devotees in a way that we really try to glorify their good qualities and not so much looking at their faults or their mistakes, and then appreciating them for them, And then all of a sudden, our hearts become happy. So, sorry, I kind of anyways, what do you think? I don't know if that answers your question. Yeah? Any other thoughts on that, about the Bhagavatam and how it's encouraging us for association? And that, yeah.
It's playing off of Drishta's point. In the very first verse that I read, it said non-dual knowledge is the supreme, or the first piece of the supreme, and very much I often find so much ease in the ability to come back and rest in the simplicity of the non-dual. Though the Bhagavatam stresses and Vaishnava philosophy stresses that in the multiplicity, in the Sangha, that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate in the personality of Godhead, where it is one and different. And so it's such a paradox to dance between finding ease in that space of oneness and also recognizing that there is um, recognizing service. Like,
Mm.
how do we balance being with the non-dual and
Mm.
also coming into service and
Mm.
coming into recognizing the personality of Godhead and being with the Sangha and being fully in the bhakti, fully in the multiplicity.
Yes, and that's what Bhagavatam's encouraging us here is that can be felt and understood completely by the pure devotee, right? Because when we're aligned with Krishna, when Krishna is, we're aligned with, that oneness is there, right? What do you want? And I want nothing but what you want, and you want nothing but what I want. And that alignment is just that oneness. And the pure devotee is encouraging us that relationship with Krishna, and they're showing us it, and then they're giving it to us. And so by serving the pure devotee and association of devotees, we can we can get to that point of loving Krishna and being aligned with him, being one in purpose, right? You have one more? Yeah.
Do you ever feel that in being a part of the movement, being a part of really any organization, that it can be difficult to not become attached to the duality and to the, I guess, like the structure, where there's so much structure and
May I ask you a question, Jackson?
yeah.
When you say duality, can you explain what to you duality is?
Where I would describe duality as, I mean, the opposite of oneness, where there's you and me, and there's an infinite amount of qualities in between, and we're recognizing the infinite qualities in between instead of just like taking that back to one. And so I wonder, because this has always been my what has pushed me away from being in organizations. Like, how do you stay grounded in Krishna while also being in the organization?
Yeah. Thank you. I agree with you. It can be tough to be a part of any organization. This material world can be tough in so many ways. And even in spiritual organization, we're working with people who are ourself. We're not at that point yet, and others aren't. And so we're working together, though. So my goal is to see that everything connected with Krishna, and that when I start to see the duality of that something is separate from Krishna, then I get in trouble. I start, Maya illusion comes. And that's what Maya is that something is separate from Krishna. So when I work within an organization or with people or a religious institution, I'm really trying to see the best in people. I'm trying to see it connected with Krishna. I try to understand that person's a devotee of Krishna. And so therefore, I know I'm going through my difficulties. I'm going through my anartas, my things that I'm trying to overcome. And I understand that other people are also doing it. So what can I do to help? And what do I do to make sure that I'm not helping? I don't want to add to somebody's disturbances and stuff. So this is something that we can do, is that the devotee's non-dual is that, Krishna's in control. He's the supreme controller. Okay, that person's working with Krishna. Is there anything that I can do to help? Maybe. But, at least try to see that Krishna is in control and that person's a devotee of Krishna, and appreciate that. And our attitude, that perspective can help us get over some things that are often stumbling blocks in our devotional service. What do you think? Yes, it is all Krishna. It's all service to Krishna, right? Yeah. Any comments, thoughts? More?
I just had a little reflection. When we talk about sadhu sangha, how important it is, I'm reflecting on the fact that it doesn't mean that we always need to be with devotees like all the time. I'm realizing more and more how important it is to spend some time with your own, After, all of the activities that we do, we all chant together, we do Bhagavatam class, but then take some time of your day to read and really reflect and go back and journal. Like Prabhupada Priya Prabhu's journaling course that we're doing is really nice to really sit down and take and like introspect and take account of like, okay, how am I doing? Or like, how am I thinking? How have I changed? How do I need to change? So anyways, that was just my reflection. Hare Krishna.
There's a balance in everything. We can't dive fully into depths of one side or the other. It's how do we stay balanced? Entire process.
Yeah, I was thinking that we're never truly alone, right? Even when we're alone, we're thinking about how to serve Krishna, right? So through journaling and these things, we're always thinking about how, that's the association of the devotees, how best I can serve Krishna, And so we associate everything with how to serve Krishna and through the people that know how to serve Krishna. So I'm guessing you journal because somebody taught you that journaling is helpful. Yes, no? Yeah, so a devotee said, hey, why don't you try this? It can help you in your service of Krishna. That's association. We took this from somebody and we're doing it because we did it on their instruction. And so that association alone is helping us strengthen our Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Yeah, balance is often a topic, right? How do we balance? Yeah. Gokulananda Prabhu, take us away. Take us home. Last comment.
Thank you, Prabhu. You're always wonderful. Whenever you bring out Srila Prabhupada's glories, your classes, they touch our hearts. Thank you.
You're very kind.
As the theme goes out for today's class, the service to the devotees, right? Is that the theme? So I was thinking, there is a saying, right? There is a saying, friend in need is friend indeed. Right? So devotee in need is devotee indeed, I would say. So like Prabhupada used to say, when Gurudev is thirsty, basically he wants water. So if I am just bringing milk for him, that's not serving the purpose. So just thinking on those lines, when any devotee is in need, that is the time there is a great opportunity to attract the mercy of the Lord, because the devotee in need definitely will be grateful and there will be blessings coming through that devotee, but more than that, Supreme Lord will be pleased, and it's a great opportunity to advance.
Srila Prabhupada's saying that, right? I really appreciate this because I was thinking, Srila Prabhupada's saying there's so many people that need Krishna. I need your help. He needs all of our help to spread Krishna. That's what he's saying. Get up, go, spread Krishna consciousness, give Krishna to others, and be the ultimate friend, the ultimate well-wisher. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bol.